Hello, I am live. It's Ekayani. How are you doing? I haven't been on here for at least a year. There's been a lot of changes that have happened in the past year. And there was a little hesitation there in the beginning because YouTube has got these pop-up messages to make sure that we're all nice to each other. So it is April 11th, 2024. Welcome to my channel. I want to thank all the new subscribers to my channel and all the people that have been watching. I just turned 61. I just turned 61, and it's been a little tradition of mine here to come up and just at least do one video a year. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Bernardo Lapala's oldest grandchild. He was a super centenarian, so I actually spend a lot of time over on his dedicated YouTube channel posting, and also on his Facebook page. So that really seemed to be, I just shifted. It seemed to be, demanding my attention more. And also I had done so many videos over here. So if you're interested in learning more about my amazing grandfather, the late great Bernardo Lapalo, I will put a link in the description box. But since it is birthday season, and I was born on April 8th, 1963, I like to come on here again every year and just show my face and basically just show you how I'm aging, you know? so, so I'm full of energy, I'm healthy, and that doesn't mean, that I don't navigate challenges because I have a body just like you do. But I just wanted to share some of the things that I have been sort of navigating, and also some new things that I have tried, which have been I found them to be very, very helpful. The latest thing is that I have noticed that I was having a a low level, almost kind of an aching pain in my legs in certain areas. And so upon further examination, I realized that, I have a little bit more showing kind of like spider veins, not anything severe, not like severe varicose veins, but, it's that age now. And because I spent many years working in the restaurant business, as a waitress, you spend a lot of time on your feet, and we must have walked, I mean, at least 5 miles a day. But that 5 miles, you're going up and down stairs and you're carrying dishes, and your days are, depending on what's going on, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 hours long. And after a while, of doing that on a repeated basis, it definitely puts a strain on the body. And I'm still very active. I still have been doing a lot of biking this past year, and a lot of just walking and running around because it's kind of my personality anyway. Have no intentions of slowing down. But as I said, I noticed this kind of throbbing. So I went and looked at, these different things that people do for cosmetic reasons. But I thought, what can you do for the actual discomfort? So thanks to the inspiration that I get from my grandfather's own example, I did a little research and I came across this product, which basically is red vine leaf. Red vine leaf in capsule form. Now you'd be asking yourself, as I was, red vine leaf, what is that? Well, it turns out that it's the leaf that turns red in the autumn on the grapevines. Ta-da! felt kind of silly, once I realized what it was. So this particular brand, I did a little research online and I found it, and it seemed to get good reviews. So I thought, why not? Why not let me try? I don't get any money or anything like that from talking about this particular brand, but this is this red vine leaf also has something called horse chestnut in it. And apparently horse chestnut originates in the Balkans and it is good for inflammation. Now, when I was reading about this red vine leaf, what I thought was really interesting and fascinating is that it is purported to be beneficial for the cellular walls of the veins themselves. So that was very interesting to me. So I've only been using this for, let me see, I got this about 4 or 5 days ago. And the suggested dosage for this is 2 capsules a day. And that's what I've been doing. And I'm happy to say, at least in my case, okay, in my case, but I consider myself in pretty good shape, that I noticed some relief like overnight. By the next day, just the discomfort was gone. So I've been keeping up with it, and I plan on keeping up with it for as long as I'm alive, as long as I need to, because as we get older, my grandfather used to say, the body is like a machine and you need to replace what you use. So that is what I have been doing. I'm not trying to, I have to say, I'm not trying to give, like diagnose or anything like that, but I'm simply sharing what I have been doing. So this has red vine leaf extract. So it's the vine leaf basically ground into a powder. This particular brand puts it in capsules. There's 14 milligrams per serving. And also there's horse chestnut extract. It says 100 milligrams. There's no daily value established. This is vegetable cellulose. So this is vegan. And they suggest 2 capsules daily with a meal and a glass of water. Okay, keep out of reach of children and all that. So just to show you what this looks like, it just comes in these capsules like this, and I take 2. So if I don't feel like ingesting the capsules, well then I'll actually pull the capsules apart and put the powder in water and stir it up and drink it that way. I notice that it does get a little, it gets a little thick. So I'm sure that's the other reason why they decided to put it in capsules. So I found this to be very helpful. So that's something I just started doing a few days ago. The other thing that I noticed also, again, just because I have been working as a waitress, is that the other thing that happens when you're doing that kind of work, or any kind of work where you're standing and lifting and all this type of thing, is that your joints start to ache, right? So I thought, all right, what can I do for that? Now, I'm late to the party. A lot of you who have subscribed to this channel probably already know about this, but for years, I had been seeing friends of mine talking about golden milk, right, or turmeric lattes. But I could never really understand, maybe it just wasn't clear to me, why they were so into it. So then when my joints started aching, basically my knees, right, because the knees take a lot of wear and tear, and the shoulders, when you're lifting trays and all that type of thing, I said, let me check this out. So I love Indian cooking and Indian spices. And I know that not only do spices impart flavor, of course, they have healing properties to them as well. You always get, more for your money when it comes to Mother Nature. So the ingredients that you use to make this latte or this turmeric milk or this golden milk, as it's also popularly known, So you could take a teaspoon of ground turmeric, powdered turmeric. You take a teaspoon of powdered ginger, and you can take a teaspoon of, I would recommend true cinnamon from Ceylon, or in my case, I actually have some true cinnamon sticks. So I just use the whole cinnamon stick. And you bring these three ingredients to a boil using some kind of fatty milk. You can use whole milk, or you could use like a coconut milk. Some people use macadamia milk. Why? Because it is fat soluble. You know, this drink is activated using something fatty in it. So traditionally in India, you know, people would be drinking hot milk, let's say at night, not cold milk, but hot milk, because hot milk digests better. And the turmeric is one of those spices that requires heating in order for the active ingredient in it, which is curcumin, to come alive, to be able to do what it needs to do. These things are heat activated. They kind of lay dormant, but once they're exposed to the heat, then they come alive. So if you've ever used a spice, let's say like cumin or coriander, and you have fried a little bit in the bottom of a pan before adding, you know, the foodstuffs that you're cooking, you will smell the aroma once it hits the heat. And so that is the active ingredients being released in it. So that is why you heat it. So some recipes will say to use 2 cups of milk to 1 teaspoon of turmeric and 1 teaspoon of ginger and 1 teaspoon of true cinnamon. I have noticed for myself, I actually don't mind if there is a little bit more turmeric in there, or I should say less milk to more turmeric. I've basically been doing it, I've been doing it about a cup of milk for the same ingredients, but you can experiment with that and see how you feel about it. After you bring it to a boil, quickly pour it into a cup, and then you can add a little black pepper on top of it. Now the black pepper also has this like enhancing, you know, activating quality that helps those other ingredients, you know, do their job. And you can put a little honey in the bottom, or you can put, you know, if you're going to use a sugar, then I would recommend that you use a brown sugar. I wouldn't recommend using a white sugar, but in India, traditionally, you would use a honey for this, which makes it more palatable. You don't want to boil the honey in the milk because it turns poisonous. It's something that you want to add at the end. It's not recommended to boil honey. If you heat honey like that and bring it to a temperature that's too high, it loses all its properties and it loses all its nutrients in it. So I have noticed when I have done that, that the inflammation just really went away. The other thing I noticed, again, this is me, the other thing I noticed when I was doing this turmeric, ginger, and cinnamon, especially in the beginning, that it actually helped me slim down. It actually helped me burn fat. It was incredible. So there you go. So that's the other thing I have been doing. The other thing I've been keeping up with is the superfood. Dr. Schulze's superfood, I should say. I'll put a link in here where you can get a little discount on your first order. And it comes in different forms. It comes in a powder. So if you have the time to make a fresh smoothie with that and add blueberries and banana and some garlic paste in, let's say, fresh orange juice, or maybe you prefer apple juice, you can do that in powdered form. That's a very nice thing to do. If you don't have the time to do that, as I have not had the time lately to do that, you can get the Superfood 100 tablets. And you take 3 a day, and this stuff is great. It's really, really great. It's vegan, it's soy-free, and it's 100% organic and wildcrafted. And what's in here? There's vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, vitamin B6, folate, vitamin B12, vitamin B5, and it's made up of some wonderful ingredients here, non-fermentable saccharine can I read this? Cerevisiae yeast, organic acerola cherry. Let me see. There's a fruit in here that I'm not familiar with. Elysis, Goulna. I love the words. I can't read this. Okay. Wild harvested spirulina algae, organic blue-green algae, chlorella broken cell algae, organic barley grass, organic alfalfa grass, organic wheat grass, organic purple dull seaweed, organic rose hips, organic lemon peel, organic orange peel, organic beet root, organic spinach leaf, and of course this unpronounceable fruit that I can't pronounce here. But that's something that I've taken to, and this has been very helpful to give me what I need and, stay balanced and energetic. So I'll put a link to that too, as well. Now, the other thing that I'm really, really excited about that I just got in the mail today, ladies, I like to, kind of talk about female things. Well, because I am a female, it doesn't really get talked about that much. And now that I've gotten to the other side of menopause, which was interesting, but I managed to find my way through that, is today in the mail, I got this bottle of Queen of Heaven and Earth. Queen of Heaven and Earth. So this is a brand that I discovered. It's called Mythic Medicine. And this is a family-run business by people that live way, 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 way up in the woods, in Northern California. And they make all kinds of body oils. Of course, everything is organic. Now, I got this because, like a lot of ladies, every year I go and get a mammogram, which isn't a lot of fun. I don't know who invented the machine, but everything is kind of square and they squish everything down, and, I don't get it. I mean, would a guy like his balls squished like that? I don't think so. But be that as it may, it just got me to thinking. This year I just thought, you know what? I would like to find something to keep my breasts healthy, in between visits. I mean, it's good to go and get a mammogram, definitely. It could save your life. But what do you do in between? Now, this bottle of herbal breast oil, as it is called by Mythic Medicine, has got the following ingredients in it. I'm very excited to try this. It has rose petals. Now, rose petals are known for being very soothing, relaxing, taking away those feelings of stress and anxiety. So I think the idea here is to really make a ritual, a healing ritual out of using this body oil. Of course, women also use this for their skin, right, as anti-aging and all of that. It has dandelion blossoms in it. Of course, dandelion comes up in the spring, and dandelion is very rich in vitamin C. And also, it's good for the liver, right? It's good for a detox as well. So that would make sense. The other thing that's in here are violet leaves. So violet leaves apparently are good for and used for stimulating or draining the lymphatic system. It also has rose essential oil, it has olive oil, and it has a little bit of a preservative in it in the form of organic. It says cane alcohol, which is interesting, and everything is organically grown. So this is going to be my new ritual. This is a 4-ounce bottle. They're having a sale right now. Normally, well, as of this recording, normally it's $45 a bottle. They do all this by hand, everything. But they're having a sale right now for 33. So since it's my birthday month, I thought, I'm going to try this. I've been wanting to try this for a while, so I'm going to do that. So I just wanted to incorporate another form of self-care in my routine, as I'm getting older. So there you have it. So I'm going to give that a try. I look forward to that. Now, I was inspired to try that because I don't know if you remember this, if I talked about this before, but I have another one of their products. This is violet leaf and castor oil. Now, I got this during, I'd say, kind of, well, one of the many rough patches during the menopause. So what happens in menopause is basically you stop menstruating and your reproductive system, goes dormant. And also what happens is that as a result of that, and as a result of not having menses anymore, water, can get, doesn't come out, right? It doesn't come out. You kind of take it for granted, when you're younger and you have your menses and, everything is coming out and it's a big cleansing process and all of that. So what I learned during menopause is that water weight is a real thing. And that kind of discomfort that I was feeling, basically was so much water, being left inside my body because my reproductive system, which has now, basically gotten older, and shriveled. I'm not in this making children anymore or anything like that. So how did I deal with that? I dealt with that in a few ways. I don't want to get too sidetracked here, but one of the things I noticed was I also get regular OBGYN checkups. I said to the gynecologist, I've got this, I feel like there's some kind of almost like a stone, or it's like some kind of discomfort, where my ovaries are, and I can't figure out what it is. I mean, it's not really painful per se, but it's always kind of there. What could that be? And she responded by saying, when your ovaries dry up, one of the things that can get trapped inside your ovaries is mucus. And then it's almost kind of like, it stays there and it's irritating. So I asked her, well, how can we get rid of this? I mean, is surgery possible? And she said, surgery is going to be uh, definitely more trouble than it's worth. And, I wouldn't really recommend going down that route. And so I was like, oh, okay. So I thought, well, so this is it. I'm just going to have to live with this annoyance for the rest of my life. So I did some research and I discovered many, 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 many. This is the reason how I actually found this Mythic medicine company in the first place, is that violet leaf oil apparently was an old folk remedy that women used for a very, 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 very long time for any kind of discomfort in their reproductive area. And that the violet leaves have this ability to dissolve hardness, right? They can dissolve hardness in the breasts. They can dissolve hardness also in that lower reproductive system as well. So I started using this, right? Just rub it on my hands, warmth, and then rub it in the area, where my ovaries were, where I was feeling the discomfort. And I swear to you that from the first moment I put it on, I felt a relief, and I just kept doing it. I just kept doing it and just kept doing it and just kept doing it. And it seems to me, at least in my case, that I have dissolved that hardness that was there without having to do anything extreme. So I thought that was extraordinary. The other thing that I was doing during my menopause and all this water retention, because I blew up to 200 pounds, which was just crazy to me. Because of course I was eating the same and I was still working and I was active, and I couldn't understand, how did I gain all this weight, which was quite uncomfortable for me because it's not my natural weight and was putting a great strain on my joints and all of that. So I looked up Dr. Richard Schulze's specialities for females, right? He's got stuff for men, he's got stuff for women, etc., as well as a general bowel detoxes and liver detoxes and so on and so forth. And he had, amongst the products he had this Fem Plus. So this Fem Plus really has become my kind of go-to maintenance, just to make sure that my circulation in my reproductive area is working properly, right? This can help me get rid of any, water, right? Urine, in other words, it just kind of wants to hang out there. Again, because I'm 61 now, I'm not 25 or 35 or even 40 anymore. This shifts for women. So this I found to be very, very helpful. And again, it's organic and wild crafted, and you just take 1 or 2 dropperfuls and 2 ounces of water, a couple of times a day. I mean, I don't even think I even do a couple of times a day anymore. Like I'll do, 1 in the morning or maybe 1 in the evening, like that. It will make you pee. The other thing that I use is called Female Balance. So I'm going to read you what's in it. So this has got donkai root, chase tree berry, wild yam root, valerian root, juniper berry, uva ursi leaf, lobelia herb and seed, passion flower herb, hops flower, and corn silk. So this is his proprietary blend. So this is what I've been using, which I found very helpful. Now, before I kind of got into this maintenance thing, and I was struggling with mood swings and all of that, basically for myself, I was going through big mood swings. It's crazy. Um, so he has another product called the Female Shot, and you can get it comes like a box, 3 in a box. Each bottle is about 2 ounces, which is why he calls it a shot, and it's a proprietary herbal blend. And I would just drink that and I would just immediately feel calm and just feel balanced. Because really, if any of you have been suffered through mood swings as a menopausal woman, or if any of you have been on the receiving end of a woman's mood swings when she was menopausal, you know how crazy it can be. So that just gave me an immediate sense of calm, which was already a blessing. But I found that it was going to be a little bit pricey to always take this female shot, which was really meant to kind of deal with a sort of a, how shall I say, almost like a crisis or a chronic condition. But what could I do on a daily basis, every day, just to kind of maintain and also to get that weight off? So as recommended, I also use the kidney bladder formula, right? Which helped me pee off water. And boy, did I pee off water. I literally peed off 15 pounds of liquid. 15 pounds. So I went from 200 pounds to 185 pounds in, a matter of, oh my goodness, I would say probably in a matter of, in my case, okay, everyone's different, but in my case, I dropped all that weight in a couple weeks, and boy, was I peeing a lot. So I was doing, again, the female shot, I was doing the kidney bladder formula, and then I was also using this Femme Plus as well. So there was a whole lot of peeing going on there, but man, I was so glad to drop all that weight. And then again, just to recap, that 5 pounds was super stubborn and didn't want to come off. And for me, I found again that the golden milk, the turmeric, the ginger, and the cinnamon helped me get rid of that kind of last stubborn 5 pounds, which was wonderful because I was able to put on, some garments of clothing that I, hadn't been able to get into yet. Um, so that is all. I just wanted to say that I'm feeling good, that I hope you're feeling good. I will put all the descriptions and links in the box below to my grandfather's YouTube channel, to his Facebook page, to his books, to Mythic Medicine, shout out to them, to Dr. Schulze, and again, I have no affiliation with this red vine leaf and horse chestnut distributor, but I'm going to put the link in here too. The name of this particular company is called Basigano. It's 60 capsules and it lasts, so it's a month's supply. And, I found it to be very helpful for my little veins. All right. Well, I hope this finds you well. So if I don't see you before, I should see you next year when I turn 62. Oh, what else can I say? My skin. Okay, my skin. I forgot to mention this. My skin's in good shape. I still use extra virgin olive oil on my face. However, I have started using some other products on my face just because, again, circulation, water, moisture, this is so important as you get older. So I've been stepping up my game drinking water, but I've also been using product actually by Il Maquillage, which is called Power Renew. And it's a vegan product that uses red algae, orchid stem. Ooh, what am I forgetting? There's something else going on in there just to put the moisture back in my skin. And I have to say, it's amazing. I mean, just even within the first few days, I thought it was amazing. I also tried using a little bit of Laneige, this hydrating stuff, which is something called Water Bank. However, I'm not sure if Laneige is really vegan and vegetarian. I'm not sure. I don't know. So I'm kind of putting my money on Il Maquillage right now. The other thing that I've been doing as well is that another phenomenon of getting older is that, your muscles start to sag. This is just something that happens naturally, right? When we're young, we take it for granted. Everything just stays in place. You start to get older and you're just like, what the heck is going on? So even though I'm energetic, and I can like run down the street and, do all this kind of thing, still, I was just noticing that my jawline, and that things in my skin, my face were just sagging. And I was like, oh my God, no. And I'm not interested in doing Botox and plastic surgery and all this type of thing, because at the end of the day, if the muscles in your face are not strong and are not toned, eventually that plastic surgery, whatever fillers you're going to put in, they're going to drop, and then people keep putting more and more and more, and we know what happens. So I found this wonderful woman. She has this channel called Blush with Me. Her name is Parmita Katakar. She is a former Miss India, and she's based out of Chicago, and she is absolutely gorgeous and teaches face yoga. So I started doing some face yoga exercises, and I swear, really, within the first few days, I noticed a difference. So I'm gonna show you something funny now, but I really recommend that you go check her out because she really knows what she's talking about. She walks the walk. She looks amazing. I think she's about 53 now. She's got two grown, she's got two teenage children, and her skin, her posture, everything about her is amazing, truly inspirational. And so who knows better about yoga than an Indian person? That's what I figure, and she shows it. So she has me doing exercises like this. It looks totally ridiculous, but like things like this. So what this kind of exercise does is that it strengthens the jawline, it strengthens the muscles in the jawline, but it also lifts the skin, and the neck, because, who wants turkey neck? Nobody. I certainly don't, right? So doing that, she's got you doing that for like 3 minutes a day, maybe twice a day, in the morning and the evening, and it's amazing how much it tightens things up. That's just one of the exercises. So what I really like about what she's sharing is that she's authentic, she gets to the point, and the exercises really don't take me more than like 6 minutes in the morning, 6 minutes in the evening. If I feel like doing it in the middle of the day, I can. And I mean, look at my jawline. It's amazing, because again, everything is about circulation. Even like little exercises like this, where I'm tapping and I'm getting the blood circulation to, the blood to flow. We take these things for granted when we're younger, when we're older, we start to realize that there's a little bit of work involved, but the benefits are great. You're healthier, and the side effect of being healthy is looking good and feeling good. Okay, so now I really am going to end now. This is 36 minutes, 37 minutes long, and I wish you all the best. Thank you for being here. Bye bye now.